What is up, Denverites, potential future Denverites, or just beautiful people all over the world watch this video, wherever you are? Welcome to Things to Know, Places to Go, Sloan's Lake edition. No, there's not a lake behind me, but I'll be there in a moment. Yes, things to know, places to go. If you are new to this video series of mine, this is where I take a community in. I really should have started by the lake. That would have been way more appropriate. Anyway, I'll get there, I promise. And you'll see a lot of footage of the lake on the video. If you're new to Things to Know, Places to Go, the series, it's where I take a community in Denver and I break down all the things I think you should know. Then I give you places to go in the terms of my favorite local coffee shop, food spot, and a local thing to do in that area. Once again, my name is Torrey Drake. I am a local Denver realtor. So if you're new to the channel, hi, welcome. Super happy to have you here. Yeah, I'm a local Denver realtor. That means I love Denver, Denverites, Coloradans, homes. Now I'd love to help you with any real estate you need if you have any. So you can reach out to me using the information below. And please consider subscribing, because that'd be super freaking cool. Now, I'm starting this video on this street very specifically for a reason, because I can show you a lot of what makes Sloan's Lake awesome, standing right where I am before I start walking around. So number one, Sloan's Lake, it'd be better if I was at the lake right now, is the second biggest park in Denver behind City Park. It's absolutely huge open space, and then the homes here are really cool because you have some really old old home with those really cool Victorian characteristics. And then you also have, like there, and then you also have a lot of scrapes happening here. Since we are just northwest of Denver a little bit, that means we don't have a surplus of land, and that there's a ton of restrictions on what you can do around this lake. So we don't really have room to build that many more, to build that much more homes. Wow, that's not even correct. Moving on. So what happens is popular here is you get scrapes where people will buy a home, an older home just for the land, scrape it and build something bigger. And I'm gonna be showing you a lot of homes on the B-roll to show you what I am talking about. Before we get to things to know though, let's talk about the location of Sloan's Lake. It is just a touch north or mainly west of Denver. So you got really beautiful mountain views on top of the lake itself. However, since you are in between the mountains and Denver, that means that once again, it's a little bit more tightly compact because there's just not a ton of space between Denver and the mountains, because we can't keep expanding between those things as we can east. You can just keep building outwards east. We can't do that. So it's a little bit more tightly compact in this area. And you have somewhat close access to see, look at that home right there. Oh, I'm a big fan of like new homes, so that's speaking to my soul right there. But there's also really cool old homes here too. Access the I-25. It's not immediate, it's not right in Sloan's Lake. You're gonna have to drive across some of the major roads to access it, so it's not as convenient. Then you have the 70 right above you that can take you east to west, but you are closer to the mountains. So about 15 to 30 minutes from the mountain, 20 to 30 minutes from the mountains, depending on where you want to go. So that gives you a good idea of the location of Sloan's Lake. Let's talk about things to know. Things to know, number one about Sloan's Lake, but look, there we go. More scrapes, old home, cool. Love that stuff, really, really fun. Makes walking around really fun. Thing to know number one is that it's one of the things that I love about Sloan's Lake, and that the residents love, is that it's near downtown, but not as crazy as downtown. It's not as sleepy as the suburbs of like Lakewood, and quiet as Lakewood. I'm not saying that's bad about Lakewood, it's a quieter part of town. Sloan's Lake is not as busy as downtown, but still has a really popular social scene, and it's not as sleepy as the suburbs, but still has some really quiet streets here. See, look now, there's the lake right there behind me. That's where I am. Thing to know, and then look at that, how big that park is right there. Oh, so cool. Beautiful homes, park, and then the lake right there. So, thing to know number two is that Sloan's Lake is the second biggest park in Denver. Yes, it is bigger than Washington Park / what locals call Wash Park. Since it's so big, one, that's just awesome because you get a lot of walking and hiking space and people riding scooters and things like that. But that also means no matter how busy it gets, you're always gonna have your own little spot wherever you end up. You can always find your own picnic table, your own bench to enjoy the view and get some quiet, as popular as it is. Speaking about being the second biggest park, during summertime, they basically hold events, parties on the lake every single weekend. So if you're in Sloan's Lake or have access to Sloan's Lake or nearby in summertime, this is a super fun spot because there's always events. In fact, the second biggest dragon boat festival happens here every single year. So that's a really fun time. Thing to know number 3, not only do you have awesome lake views, but you also have gorgeous mountain views that do not show on video at all. But I promise you, those views are actually really, really pretty in person. It just doesn't show very well on video. Speaking of video, or just pretty things, look at that beautiful home right there. Really fun. Thing to know number 5. Do you hear that? You probably don't hear anything. Because thing to know number 5 is that Sloan's Lake is pretty darn quiet. As fun as it is, as popular that is, because the lake is so big, you don't get a lot of loud people or stuff happening all in one spot because it's so spread out. And then there's these suburbs here, like behind me. So Sloan's Lake stays pretty darn quiet despite how fun and social it is. Last thing to know, number 5, this might be number 6. One of those is that Sloan's Lake is very active. It's very fit. It's very, I'm just gonna go back to the word active. There is always gonna be people riding bikes, going on runs, scooters, getting their workouts in at the park. This is a very active community, and it's very, very family friendly. I like to say it's a lot like Highlands or Platt Park, where it's very youthful, but I don't mean youthful in terms of age, I mean in terms of energy. People just have energy and spirit. They're out here using nature. They're out here using the park and getting the most out of it. There's people kayaking right now, which I guarantee you that you won't be able to see maybe somewhere in the water. So you have millennials, teenagers out here having a great time. And then you have families with kids, and you have elderly couples all using this area and being respectful of each other. It's just a really youthful place, but once again, I don't mean that in terms of age, but just energy and spirit. Well, that covers things to know. Let's talk about places to go. If you're in Sloan's Lake, where should you go? For coffee, for food, and to do a fun local thing they can only do here in Sloan's Lake. Let's start off with coffee. We're gonna go with Griffin's Coffee, and I'm picking that because yes, it is right across the street from the lake. So whether you're starting off your day with a cup of coffee, enjoying it there, and then going across the street to the park, or taking a coffee to go, Griffin's Coffee not only has a cool aesthetic, they got great coffees, great area to hang out on. They're right on Byron and Sheridan, which that little block there is actually pretty cool. It's pretty walkable. It's just one block that has a couple of cool local liquor stores, a couple of local restaurants, coffee spots. So it's really fun. I will say, getting there, you're gonna be driving on Sheridan, which is the main, very, very busy road with a lot of chain spots on there. So you might be driving there being like, it's not as attractive. I'll be super honest. When I first moved to Denver years and years and years ago, I drove exploring Sloan's Lake, was on Sheridan, driving to Griffin's Coffee, funny enough, I think. And I was just like, oh, I don't know if I love this. And then, I pulled off onto Byron. I was like, oh, I definitely love this. This is really cool. Then I explored these neighborhoods here, explored Sloan's Lake more. I was like, wow, this is just super, super pretty. Sheridan is just like a main road that's super congested, really busy. It's got a lot of chain spots on there. Not bad by any means. When you just hear about how amazing Sloan's Lake is and you go there and that's your first introduction to it, you might be a little confused. But once again, cool. It's a really cool spot. Turn on Byron. Griffin's Coffee, really cool. That covers coffee. Moving on to food. Where should you get food here? Okay, I've got conflicting information on this because what I like, a spot I like to go to is the patio, which is once again utilizing the amazing lake that we have, and the restaurant is right on the water. Super beautiful, literally across the street from the lake and the park. And this is a beautiful restaurant, cool craft beer, cocktails, everything. But a buddy of mine, I was telling him that I was going to the patio, and he was like, nope, do not care for the food there. I didn't like it. So it's not a slam dunk by any means. I dig it, I like it. One, mainly for the location, it's really pretty, but the food's good. But my buddy was like, nope, I don't like it. But here, I'm gonna give you an expert tip, a local tip. If you really wanna eat and drink in Sloan's Lake like a local expert, here's what you do. Remember that Griffin Coffee Shop on Byron and Sheridan? There's also a brewery, Joyride Brewing. Super cool spot with the rooftop that overlooks the lake. Across the street from Joyride is US Thai, some of the best Thai food you will ever have in your life, if not all of Denver. You take your Thai food from US Thai, you go and you take it to the rooftop of Joyride Brewing. They let you bring your own food. Or if you want to be a real local, you Go to US Tide, place your order, go to Joyride, have a couple drinks, go back to US Tide, pick up your food once it's ready, and then take that food back up there. So go boom, 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 boom. That's a really fun way to enjoy a day at Sloan's Lake, because you're having local beer, you're having local food, and you're experiencing the lake from a rooftop view, which is really pretty. Also, side note, a lot of the homes here, especially the new ones being built, all have big patios like that, so you can overlook the lake, which is really pretty. And a lot of the places surrounding the lake, food and restaurant wise and drink wise, have those as well. And what is your local thing to do? It is to watch the sunset at Sloan's Lake. Find one of the many places to sit in Sloan's Lake. Picnic tables, benches. This lake is massive, park is massive. So you will have no problem finding a place to sit, whether it's in the park, on a bench, or in a picnic table, and just enjoy the sunset. A couple runners up for fun local things to do in Sloan's Lake is Mile High Stadium. Is super close, walkable somewhat maybe, but definitely one of those like electric scooters you can take, ride that electric scooter on a Mile High Stadium, and you don't have to worry about parking. So if you're a big sports fan, that is a big plus. Lastly, you have Edgewater Market. Now Sloan's Lake is on the east side of the lake, Edgewater is on the west, and you have Edgewater Market, which is like a warehouse, really cool warehouse that has a bunch of local restaurants, local stores, like clothing stores, CBD stores, soap stores, yarn stores, food courts, beautiful lights, outdoor seating, indoor seating. It's just a massive warehouse that has everything you could do in there. There's a couple workout spots in there. I can't remember if it's Pilates or yoga or boxing, but there's some cool workout spots there. Literally just go to Edgewater, walk around, experience it. I always like to recommend for something like Edgewater, I always like to recommend when people go to Edgewater Marketplace for the first time, don't look it up. Don't look on Yelp, the restaurants and the places. Go there, walk, and just pick a spot based on what feels right, what's calling to you. It's such a cool aesthetic. Just go there blind and just have fun walking around and be like, you know what? That's the spot I want to go to today. That's the way I think you should do Edgewater Marketplace. Well, that is places to go. You got your coffee shop, food spot, and your local fun thing to do. Let's top this off with some real estate fast facts. Number one, despite a lot of the homes I'm sure you've seen behind me as I was walking through the neighborhood, there's a good mix of single family homes, condos, and townhomes here. Real estate fast fact number two is scrapes are very popular. If you watch a lot of my things to know places to go, you'll notice that scrapes are a popular thing amongst towns that are on the west side of Denver, because we can't build any more land, or we don't have any more land available between Denver and the mountains. So if you want to build a home like that, you have to buy an older home, tear it down, and build the home you want. So scrapes are common here. Real estate fast fact number three is the demographic is pretty spread out. Once again, go for a walk around Sloan's Lake and you're gonna see every age group out enjoying the park. Teenagers, millennials, whatever's older than millennials, families, elderly couples, they're all, once again, enjoying the area. Fast fact number four, parking is not super easy. Because there's a lot of communities here, the people who live in these communities don't want their neighborhoods being swamped by people visiting the parks. There's a lot of those saying like, oh, permit only, or you can't park here these days and times. So parking is not super convenient. And the last real estate fast fact for the area is prices, this is my opinion, are going to increase rapidly in this area, because since people we can't build more homes, once again, as I mentioned, tearing down older ones, building newer ones, and building very, very big ones. You can see that home is next to a very small, older home. So that just jumped the price above the neighborhood by several $100,000 because they've just built a huge, huge home. So prices are increasing faster here than they would somewhere in Lakewood, where there's lots and lots of open land. Since Sloan's Lake is small, not extra space to build new homes, they're building new homes, they're expensive homes, that's driving the price up pretty quick. Well guys, that is things to know, places to go, Sloan's Lake edition. Once again, my name is Torrey Drake. I'm a local Denver realtor. I thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing, because that's such a small thing to do, to click that button. I know it's cliche to ask, but it means so much to me, because I'm really trying to spread this, or grow this channel, and spread the good word of the beauty of Denver and its neighborhoods. If you are into Denver homes and lifestyles, this channel is called Denver Homes and Lifestyles for a reason. We talk about everything lifestyle, and I do a lot of home tours as well. Guys, if you have any real estate needs, I would love to help you. Selfish plug for a second. I love what I do. I love real estate. I love Denver. I love homes. And I'd love to help you if there's any way I can be helpful. You can reach out to me using the information on the screen. Thank you for watching so much, guys. Really appreciate it. I will see you on the next one.